That's about the topic many asked about. And I would like to tell you that we will talk now from gamer to developer, how a hobby becomes a life's work. The video game industry is constantly in need of talented professionals who have grown out of being enthusiastic gamers. Let's explore the path from a simple passion of game for games to a professional career in game dev. Now look at some real life success stories. We will discuss the skills and tools needed to transit into the industry as well, how to turn a passion for gaming into successful career. We'll talk about a career. Okay, the moderator is the Yevgeny Medvedev, elite team from Lipsov Studio. And the speakers are Shantanu Basu, CEO and founder of Let's Game Now India. Your applause. Jan Basharvin, indie developer, teacher from Yukon. Ilya Shatsky, game developer at Code from Kazakhstan. We also have two online guests. Nassim Hamza, co-founder, producer at Let's Play Games, and the founder and CEO of Soy Games from Algeria. And we also have Andrei Mayakin, director of gaming project operations for Game. Okay, Evgeny, you have the floor, and I would like to welcome the speakers. Your applause. We go ahead. Thank you very much, everyone. I would like to welcome everyone who managed to come here late Sunday. I would like to moderate this session at the International Moscow Game Week. The session we will talk about how to actually come from indie developer to a big game developer and what difficulties you may face on this way. Today we have experts who will share this experience with you. They will tell you how to come to a big developer, what skills you need, and how to organize your work with your first gaming project. First of all, I would like to remind you how we're going to speak. We have around 5 minutes for your first answer, then 1 minute for the second question. And I would like to start with Shantanu Basu, with the co-founder of Let's Game Now, and is our guest from India. Shantanu, please tell us how your own experience from transitioning from regular gamer to the founder of a gaming company can inspire developers. What were the most difficult moments in your journey, and what lessons did you learn from your first projects?
I used to give couriers to houses. For delivering one letter, I would get 1 ruble for delivering one letter to one house. I even had to sleep on the streets. I was going through so much poverty at that time. So there was this gaming championship. It was 2,000 kilometers away from my house. And I locked myself in the train bathroom and traveled like that to uh, take part in the competition. Then I beat everyone from India and won from there. After that, I played for India in 50 countries. I am India's first professional gamer. I played for India in FIFA. I got third in a world championship as well. I played for US gaming team for 7 years. I have been brand ambassador for several brands. So now my company has recently raised like 3 million USD. And so uh, the biggest thing is like you should be at it and keep trying until you achieve your goal.
Отлично, спасибо.
Oh, great. And one more additional question. How do you think? What signs indicate that a person is truly ready to transit from a hobby to a professional career in game development? Does a person need to have for it?
So for me, I used to work in a company called Ubisoft, a French gaming company. I worked there for a few days, for a few months. I learned from there, and then I started my own game development company. We did a lot of mistakes at the start, but for me, it was not about making money. It was about making the name. We charged less to the customers. Even at the start, we gave free games for the some of the brands just to make the name for ourselves. And then slowly, last year we did a revenue of $1 million, and this year we are making 2.5 million USD. So that's how I think it's the way that at the start you should not care about the money, you should care about the product.
Отлично, поддерживаю такой
That's brilliant. I can only support what you said because the most important thing in our industry is to make games. The more games you make, the better you are, the more people will know about you. That's a great news. Thank you very much, Shantanu. And I would like to come over to Jan Basharin, who is the indie developer and also a teacher of UCOM and can give you some advices for yourself products. How did it happen? And I liked the video games when I was a child. World of Warcraft, that was my real life. But with the time, I understood that were many people making these video games, but it was an abstract dream for me to become a game developer. Then I studying at the Institute of Business and Design, and I started studying game design. Then I understood the video games development was real. I started doing small projects. Then I also prepared my own games, the League of Enthusiasts and Losers for Nintendo, and now I'm currently another my own game. So you as a teacher and you work with a lot of newcomers, what do these newcomers do not have in order to be really cool in the game market, in the gaming market? First of all, I really met a lot of talented young guys and have a lot of ideas for the video games. But what is missing? The idea is here. They are not able to provide to think about good mechanics. They are not able to tell exactly what the game is about. I do first of all see mis- I don't see actually mistakes in. They also have some problems with the fundamental knowledge how to design a game, but that's not a problem. You can teach it. But the bigger problem is actually the missing understanding between the gamer and the developer, especially the new developer doesn't understand the gamer's needs. And I would like to come over to Andrei Mayakin because yeah, actually the director of projects at game. Are you here with us? Yes, you are. That's great. Please tell me how can be you used to be just a community member, then you started being a team member. How did you come to the game development out of the gamers? My story will be actually very long. I have been actually working in the industry for 18 years in order to become a director of my department. That's actually was a kind of step-by-step career. In the beginning, I was just a community member. When I saw this job, I just decided to put my life at risk because I have another job which was pretty good. But it was something what was a call for me. But I sent my CV. I went through something so several interviews with sample competition, and so I started working in a game development, and I have been in a game development for the last 18 years. That means that I made the right choice 18 years ago. I didn't have any experience at that time, but I had a great passion, and I really was managed to got my chance. To get my chance. And so you were running. What are the most important skills and characteristics of a candidate? How do you assess a candidate without any commercial experience? What do you recommend to look first at? Because I will speak as a publisher. So we have several entry points. When a gamer can talk to the administration, to the game developer, and show some skills, it could be a moderator who can also work as an external uh, test tester, you can, when you see someone who can supports the administration, they can also show himself off. Example, then we can ask a moderator, can you also provide average data about the community, about what topics are discussed in the community? And one candidate can give us some quotations, and another one can process this quotation and can eh, take out the most important thing and also give us the most important topics. And the third moderator will also promote some decisions or some solutions for this in the situations. And in this case, within the third moderator could be the one who can really be one of our team. We can also sign this person for crunch. So we don't really need to explain a lot to this person. So that's the involvement. That's, and all the soft skills are really required because we're talking about people dedication and people contribution. And if you see this kind of people, we really choose these people. And we have also and some jobs like community manager or event manager or a tester. We also have a pool of candidates that are constantly in contact with us and they love the product. So these candidates usually stay with us for a long time and they can really be productive. So that means you always have people you can look at closer. For example, as the test engineer, I would like to ask you because the easiest way to come to the game development that's through the testing or the community. I would say that is not always so. If you would like to actually to come to a gaming company, or what you should also have some other skills. And what is about community? What can you tell us about it? And definitely need some basic skills almost everywhere. We don't want to spend much time for those who don't know how Excel works. That we don't really expect that actually a newcomer can really show a high performance since day one. But if you work with a community, because the people sometimes are not even literate enough. They have a lot of mistakes when they write in or type in Russian. We also need not just adequate people. Young candidates, they start thinking more about themselves, not about other people. That's actually what becomes a problem. First of all, you are actually search for people who can really well deeply engaged with the product or are actually familiar with the genre. Thank you, Andrei. I'd like to come over to Ilya Trotsky. You are a developer from Class Code. You made some mobile games. Can you tell us about your journey? How did you come to this industry? How difficult the way was? It was pretty occasional. I was a web engineer. I was a web developer. I probably was in the front office. And in our company, we opened a new area, a new department, and my boss knew me as a hardcore gamer, and I said, I'm actually the one who should be in this department. Please hire me." And used to play a lot since my childhood, and I was actually sad that you have to study a lot in order to become a programmer. That's why you're a game designer. I used to work at a web designer. As for the web, I did almost everything. So I don't have any educational background. I have a marketing degree. That it turned out that I used to work with the web design and the web development all the time, and now I started working in the game development. So you did the web design, the web development. Now you actually do the PC game. No, no, I'm specializing in mobile games. What advices would you give to yourself, knowing the in the situation in the industry where the people can get educated? What advices would you give to the newcomers? If you are an absolute newcomer, that's a good idea to go to educational facility first. If you don't have this opportunity, you can educate yourself. Stop. do not stop playing. And as for the self training, self education, what would you propose? For example, a Chat GPT or YouTube. A Chat GPT could be a kind of a mentor, a coach, could find a lot of information. Because Chat GPT could not be a mentor for a long time because uh, after a certain period of time, ChatGPT start providing a bullshit. So you have to be able actually to give a good prompt to ChatGPT, and then you can get a good answer. But as long as the ChatGPT starts giving you a lot of text, we also see that ChatGPT start providing real bullshit. Be careful in this case. You can take also any channel and channel for someone's channel, like Johnny, a developer's Johnny from this scratch to the release, how to make a game for new developers, and it can explain you what buttons to press. So at the end, you will probably get a certain game. And if you have actually an experience how to get trained on these materials, that's how I get trained. That's you have to train, train, and train. Yeah, so that's all study, study, and study. And because you can, first of all, to create your own portfolio in order to prove what you really can. And our next online speaker is Nassim Hanze, who is actually the founder of Nassim Games. And also, he now is a professional game dev. He is also an expert in newcomers' mistakes. Nassim, what are the most common mistakes made by newcomers when they enter the industry? Which of these mistakes are the most dangerous one, and what strategy should a newcomer follow in order to complete this journey?
To answer your question, I've looked back at my career and identified what I call the top five deadly mistakes. So, and I wanted to share these mistakes with everyone to bet more importantly the solution for each one. So the first mistake that I notice a lot of those developers fall into is starting with a huge project. We all dream of making a massive hit, but beginners often start with a project that is too big for their resources. So the solution for this, you must start with a small project to learn the full cycle of game development before attempting a big one. And second of all, the second mistake is wasting years on your first game without having any prior minor achievements or experience. This could be a deadly mistake. Basically, this happens when you work on a single game for 2 or 3 years without releasing anything. You have zero experience, like you have zero experience shipping games, but you keep working on one thing. So to avoid this, you need to adopt the file first mindset. So you have to release small games as quickly as possible, and even if the file you you have learned from your experience, and you improve your chance for the next one. And so the mistake number three, beginners often treat their game like a baby. They refuse to change it, even if it's not working. So you can to solve this problem, you have to treat your game as a product, not as a baby. Uh, so you need to check the data, specifically the player attention and the feedback at the prototype stage. If the data shows the bad result for the core loop, even after you improve it, then you must be ready to kill the project immediately and move on to the next one. And the fourth mistake is not learning the game design. And so I come from a programming background, and I thought that a good code equals a good game. And I was wrong at this. I was building games based only on personal ideas as a hobbyist. So the solution for this is you must study the game design principles. It is a completely different skill than the programming, and you need to understand what makes a game actually fun. for the market, not just for you. And mistake number five is choosing the crowded niche. Like, for example, the Mashti puzzle market is very crowded with the big companies. And one simple thing you can do is spot the gaps. So look for a genre with a low amount of games. But the games have to have a high number of download. So to, to fix that problem. Because the opportunity in the market is big, so choose a non-crowded niche will actually have a chance to succeed. Based on my experience, this is are the most dangerous mistakes.
Согласен. По своей
I
работе
fully agree with you because I work with some of the students because when they start their big project, they would like to make its own RPG without making the small games with small iterations. And I would like to ask you additional question. If you take into account all these mistakes, and if we make the market and make the trendy games, how can we make trendy games but not losing actually our creativity? If you like to be creative, but also like to be popular, what advices could you give here?
So this is a great question regarding the layout of the game. The key here is to not just copy paste what the others are doing. You have to take the trend and give it your own touch to suit your game identity. Let me give you a real world example from our experience. One day we noticed that the top games in a similar genre were using a trend where they fill the game world with the snow or the sand, and the player have to clear it. We wanted to use this engaging mechanic, but our game is a zombie tower defense. Uh, Filling the world in snow or sand didn't make sense for us. We would lose the game unique identity. So instead of copying them exactly, we adopted it. We filled the word with a poison gas. The player has to clear it in order to expand. This allowed us to use the trending mechanic, and it didn't just preserve our game unique identity, but it boosted the identity and the performance of our game. So the lesson is look at what works in the market, but always translate it into the language of your own game.
Отлично. Спасибо за вопрос.
Thank you very much for your answer. That was the last of our guests, and we have some time. First of all, I would like to thank you for all your responses. I think you also managed to find something what can really suit your expectations. And now we have some time to discuss the most important question. How can actually come over from an indie developer to a serious development? How to not to burn out, how not to burn away in this transition, how then you can really start creating good products. Let's talk about something what we really like about the burning out in the development career. How can you really stay alive until the game is ready? What can you tell us? Are you ready? I may start because when I develop games, I can also make images. I also create the sound and the music and a program by myself. That's very difficult. And as for the devices, how not to buy this process, everyone should understand what resources he or she has, how physically real it is for a person. And you can also start with small things, whether they really can be come to the end, and then you come over to the bigger things, and you have to understand how you can plan your time. For example, you may work at night only. That's okay. If you work and really are more productive at night, work at night. If you're really more productive during the daytime, work during the daytime. We are all different and we have completely different approach to work. We just need to listen to ourselves when we plan our goals, when we plan how to work on our games. That's my advice. Please listen to your heart first. Does anyone else would like to express his opinion? If we talk about a team, so these frameworks like Scrum can really help because they split a complicated process in very simple tasks, and we can read the results of our work much faster if we are not plan for 6 years ahead, when if we plan just for 3 weeks ahead, and within 2 weeks we see that we did something, and it's something what we have a certain actually satisfaction of our work. So we are working with the very short iterations. That's so very useful. But I don't have any answer to the question how not to burn out. But if you have any additional process, is it okay? For example, if you are only 5 people in the team, if you can, Shantanu, do you have any opinion towards this question, how not to burn out and to bring a game to a success?
I cannot exactly say how not to burn out, but like I even have a record for playing 24 hours non-stop. So you can imagine how passionate I am about games and working in the gaming industry. So I would like to advise something to the Russian indie developers. Like I met a lot of them, and all of them are have been bootstrapped, not raised funding. They've made the games on their own. So I would just like to say that before uh, you just put 6 months, 1 year on a game, first make the a PPT of your ideas. For example, a car game, maybe a game on cold drinks, on a candy, and then you reach out to the brands and on LinkedIn, share them the idea. Maybe a brand manager likes it and maybe he can sponsor the game. That happened with me. I made 50 PPTs, sent to 50 brand heads, and Acer, the laptop company, they gave me the first order to make a football game. So all the other companies rejected the car racing and all, but Acer gave me, and that's how all it started. So before you put in 1 year with your own money and time, also just make the ideas 10, 15 ideas, pitch it to different brands so that you get revenue out of it. Not only spend time and time. You won't burn out if you get the money. So if the money keeps rolling, then you don't burn out. So that's the motivation I have.
Согласен. Сверка с реальностью
I
важна.
fully agree. You have to check yourself with the reality in order to understand that you're still in genre, that you're supported. That's very great. And Raim, do you have any opinion how not to burn out, especially in the community? For example, we released not so long ago, we found out a lot of interesting things about ourselves. How do you cope with that? I'm not a developer, I'm just a publisher. May I will come to this game development. I will try what it is. But if we talk that the game development is an industry when you're always challenged 24/7, you need to provide a service, and we are not able to work just from 9 to 6. We always have problems. We also have unexpected events. We always have tough deadlines. We need actually to underline successes successes for the team, and if you're not successful, probably you have to stop doing it, or you have to work on yourself first, because the team should know when a certain deadline is, when you have to release a certain version. The goals should be clearly communicated to all team members, and you also have to monitor whether everything goes well, whether you reach success, and so on. As for me, you either find the growth points. Don't need to frustrate. We have also targets and we can go ahead. But if you lead your projects go up, you also have some records and revenue and audience, or you can hire a really cool guy giving you a significant good performance. That these are small wins that will keep motivating you. I also faced several times the situation when you don't really understand how to cope with this amount of tasks. You can just tell about it to your team, tell other guys about this, that you have some problems, some misunderstanding. Just communicate with your team, with other people, with your family, and they will support you. That helps a lot. So the team support and the friends team, the family support is crucial. Exactly, 100%. Don't keep it inside. Just share with other people what you have on your mind. Thank you very much. Can you ask Nassim, what can you advise how not to burn out, how to cope with this big amount of work, how to come down to the game release?
Okay. So the strategy to avoid the burnout is to build a prototype that contains only the core loop. New developers often burn out because they keep building feature after feature without knowing if the game core loop is actually fun. So instead, you should build the smallest version of the game, like just the main action the player repeatedly does, and then let people play it. Then look at the data, specifically the play time. If the core loop gains a good play time and the players enjoy it, this validates your idea. It gives you the motivation to continue because you know the game has the potential. But if the core loop results are bad and you can't improve the core loop, then you know that like, even if you try to improve the core loop, but still it's not fun and the playtime is still bad, then you know the game is not worth your time. You can abandon it early and before wasting more of your time. So this is the only way to work smart.
Как говорим мы у нас в России,
As we say here in Russia, we stick to the plan. We had a plan and we stuck to it. All right. Each one of us now can offer this advice to future young developers, maybe something great and bright. And my advice to make your game and let's play it together. Что-то они
украл идею. Надо просто делать игры. Вот, но это очень сложно, да, но если
This one advice that I can give.
есть желание разрабатывать,
If you want to develop video games, please do it. Don't be scared, just try it. At least a little bit. Do something for yourself, for someone else. Show it to someone else for sure, so that you get some feedback for that.
I would be really brutal and honest. Don't make your dream game at the first. First, reach out to brands, get some money, make sponsored games. First, run your home, and then you build your dream home. First, you make your wife happy, your family happy, then you make your dream game. Because I saw everyone I meet, they are like, I am building my dream game for 2 years. Where's the money? No. So first, make sure that you reach out to brands. Maybe you get some cola company or chips company to sponsor your game. Maybe the first game may be as shit as you are carrying a bowl and cornflakes is falling or chips is falling. So a simple game, but you need to make money. You can sell it to Yandex, a car racing game while someone is waiting. That if you can do a car race, Yandex, you get discount on Yandex, like for the cab.
игру по мультикам, например.
First run your family, man, then go into your dream game. Because until like you cannot see dreams on an empty stomach, so make sure the food is on the table and you keep on churning more. So once the revenue side, first you have to be a good salesman, then you make dream games. That's my advice to all the young guys. Thank you.
Отлично. Андрей, вы что посоветуете?
Very good, Andrei. What would you advise to the young guys? Here I would support the previous speaker. Don't think that you will be successful immediately. For sure, you need to learn things that you'd better not do it independently. You better do it in some kind of environment or community. Don't be shy. Go to work for a gaming company. make mistakes. Look at how professionals do it. It's like in professional sport, many people begin at the amateur level, but only a few reach the top, and only a few get serious money. And it's in a similar situation here. There's a huge competition in game development. It's hard to fight big companies with their resource. You always start learning, and when there's this stage when you can support yourself and you have a resource for your dream game or participate in a dream project, don't get any illusions that the success will come just because you are such a good boy of your mother. You need to make mistakes and then you will become successful. And I wish all of you success as well. Thank you, Andrei. And finally, Nassim, any advice from you to the young developers?
Okay. So my advice is don't be afraid of the game development. You have to be patient and learn carefully and slowly. Don't try to build big games. And if you are a gamer and you maybe played big games like Fortnite or very big games, and this will make it a dream for you to create a big game like this. But what you don't see behind the scene is this game have huge companies behind them and hundred or thousands of developers working on them. So at first, don't make your dream a very big game like this one. Make your dream a small game, very small game like a mobile game or anything that is very small that you can finish. And also search on the internet for the fastest ways, the simplest ways to create these games. And with the small game, you have a bigger chance to succeed in this field. And if you see yourself succeeding, having achievements, having small, like having small achievements, you can you can then set bigger goals and move on. Because if you start with the big, you will burn out and you will fight.
Отлично, спасибо. Напоследок,
Very well. In conclusion, let me just add my advice. Don't be afraid. Do it. Friendly. Everyone is willing to answer your questions. There are lots of events in different countries, lots of information. Get your information, get inspired. As we were told, look for your foundation that will support you, your family, your community, or this great goal to which you will go slowly in smaller steps through smaller projects. I think we need to finish at this point, and we thank all our speakers. Thank you very much. This was a pretty good discussion, I think. Thank you for visiting with us.
Благодарю за прекрасную сессию. Что же, уважаемые гости, мы не заканчиваем. Совсем скоро у нас будет крайняя сессия этого дня. И в целом практически всего мероприятия, всей недели видеоигр. Поэтому мы говорим вам, не расходимся. Скоро начнем здесь, соберемся через некоторое время и продолжим классную сессию. Расскажу, что будет. Будем говорить про под капотом игрового движка от рендеринга до логики. В общем, мы разберемся, что там творится внутри видеоигр и как они создаются. Поэтому увидимся скоро, никуда не расходимся, а нам нужна небольшая техническая пауза. Хорошего вечера, скоро увидимся.
Там все вытащили.
Здравствуйте, что такое? У нас здесь все это, а здесь все это. Я не понимаю. Раз, два, три, четыре, пять. У нас Дмитрий здесь, написал. Написал Ло, здесь должен быть Дмитрий, там был. Пять все? Сейчас 5 типов? Да. Аня, просто.
А у вас есть какие-то указания по телефону?
Олег.